Psalm 64 and verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakah, Kwadash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and the house of David is rising. So we're in that time, man. Psalms 64 and 8. They're making their own tongues to fall upon themselves. So I got this a clip of an example of this guy's name, Asha, on TikTok. One of the brothers sent it. One of the elders sent it on the live chat. So I'm just gonna hear it out and let you hear it while I'm gonna do this video for the power and spirit of Yahweh Shai. It was very interesting. Let me see if I can pull it up right now.
From the very first African that was enslaved, we have been gassed.
Right, let's take it to the top. Let's take this to the top. This is TikTok, and I remember this guy. I remember him from YouTube. If I can find any of his YouTube videos, I can do a video on the YouTube coming. I'm just getting used to this TikTok thing, this new TikTok thing. Well, let's check it out. I'm just gonna let you hear the vocals for this time around. Abaratazar, see if I can get him on the YouTube. Still not really used to this TikTok. I'm more used to YouTube, but for now we're gonna hear it out. There's some good interesting meat and words in it. We're gonna hit the precepts. Abaratazar.
Gaslight. Gaslight, if you don't know, it's a psychological term. It's where the abuser tells the victim that this reality of you being a...
Can't I get this from the top, bro? Let me see if I can get it from the top, man. There's a whole heap of meat in there, man. If you want to do a video, there's a whole heap of meat in this one. What's his name? Asha on TikTok. The big fat bloke. And I believe he's a Jake anyway. If I remember rightly, I believe he's a Jake. From the top.
But white folks are largely professional gaslighters when it comes to race. We are professional liars when it comes to race. It's part of white supremacy and how it functions and how it works. From the very first African that was enslaved, we have been gaslighting black folks as white people. That's our culture, that's our tradition, that's our indoctrination, and that's what we do, and that's what we do best. We lie every single day. And we lie to black people, we lie to each other, we lie to ourselves about race. We gaslight. Gaslight, if you don't know, it's a psychological term. It's where the abuser tells the victim that this reality of you being abused is not really happening. It's just something in your imagination. You're being paranoid. You're being too sensitive. All this abuse is not real. And if it is real, it's only because you deserved it. I was trying to help you. It's justified somehow. We have always justified our racism. And if we're not justifying it, we're denying it. If we're not denying it, then we're deflecting it. The last thing white people would do is simply acknowledge the truth racially. That's why I say we're bullshit artists. We are professional fucking liars and gaslighters. That's exactly what we do as white people, and that's the fucking truth. And if you deny it, you're a fucking liar. 90% of white people today, right now in America, no matter how young or how old, we've been so profoundly indoctrinated that we cannot simply acknowledge the truth racially. Can't do it. And if we do it, there's a but or a deflection. Can't do it. 90% of us will not do it. So this is why we are gaslighting academically. This is why black history all around America right now is being criminalized. That tradition of gaslighting, that tradition of hiding, that tradition of pretending racism is not real is their educational system. And they want to protect that tradition. They do not want the truth to be out. People know that the hope is with the younger generation. Isn't that what they always say? I hope the younger people, I hope the next generation will do better. They know that if the truth ever gets taught racially, that's why CRT is banned. That's why if you talk about race, it's banned. All around America, states, counties, schools, teachers, threat of arrest, black stories, beautiful black books banned, erased, censored, libraries empty, criminalization of black history, folks. Because why? Because white people are racist. White people are all about denying. White people are all about gaslighting. That's our tradition. Deny, deflect, never teach the truth, never acknowledge the truth. Because if we do, if we teach the truth, what will happen? White supremacy could be threatened. Economic advantages for white people, the dominant position, could be threatened. They're threatened, like all bullies are threatened. They're threatened by their victims. So of course they don't want the truth to be taught. So what do? They keep it whitewashed. They keep the lies perpetrating, the narratives, the whitewashing. Pretend George Washington, Andrew Jackson were heroes, as they owned hundreds of slaves. Keep pretending, keep denying, keep whitewashing. Let's not learn about black heroes. Let's not learn about black stories. Let's not learn about black history. Let's not learn about black contributions. Why? Because that would be the truth. And that's not our tradition. We're supposed to promote whiteness. That's how white nationalism works. They pretend that, we're innocent. We're trying to protect the sensitivity of our white children. No, you're not. You're trying to keep white supremacy and your privilege alive. You want to be on top the same way that your parents wanted to be on top and their parents wanted to be on top. That's how white supremacy works. It's a power thing. The idea of dismantling white supremacy cannot happen until we can teach our children the truth.
All right.
How did you dare?
Shut up and listen.
So there you have it, man. You heard it from him, although you may have heard it from me, and you may have heard it from our brothers, the Hebrew Israelites, what you call black Hebrew Israelites, which is a stereotype in itself. You're hearing it from your own mouth, dear. And he might be a Jake, he might not be a Jake. Hashtag Asher on TikTok, that's his name. And he calls you professional liars. Psalms 64:8 says, so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Let's go up. Let's go up a little bit, a couple of verses. Psalm 64. Go up to the top. Hide me from the sacred counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, professional liars. And in the Christian church, talking about like back 2012, around about 2012, 13, I used to sit down. I used to go to the Kingdom Hall. I was watching videos as well, but I used to go to the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses and sit down and watch them. I would sometimes sit in the front and just say to the Most High, put a shield around me. Let me really absorb this like a sponge. And I knew there was lying, man. It got to a point where I was awoke, but I knew there was lying, and I just said, I'm there to be an investigator for the Most High. And after I realized it was all fake, a lot of fakeness, and I was telling people, this ain't truth no more, man. And I was, certain people I was talking to, and I was saying these people are the devil. And I used to talk to elders, and I used to put a lot of elders right in the church, around 2012 and 2013. And then I came to the conclusion that they are professional liars, as what he just said. Psalms 64. Let's carry on reading. I came to the conclusion that we're dealing with professional liars, as I did that video on the Gunning-Kruger effect, the deflecting, and he said all the words. He just said it. He just said it more eloquent, and he said it as a man of your own people coming out, and as a whistleblower, he said it. And the plausible deniability. Let's carry on reading. What wet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They're shooting right now, their arrows, their lies, deplorable deniability, and there's another word I'm going to add to my collection, gaslighting. We looked up some of those other words, the Gunning-Kruger effect, in my other videos, some of my previous videos, which I entitled Who Are the True Face of Lies? He delights in lies. A couple of those verses. When you hear it from us so-called black people, you may not give a damn. Probably just goes in one ear and out the other. They say, oh, there they go again, complaining as usual, as what he said. There they go again. Oh, you're being self-sensitive. You got a bad memory, which goes back to gaslighting. Let me carry on reading. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. And that's the elect, the so-called black people. But the elect of the Negroes, the so-called black people, the children of Yahshua Allah, talking about the elect, shooting your arrows, your lies, all your different devices that you have. Basically the kitchen sink now, which you use your media, your witchcraft, your media, and the other video I did with the Get Out video. This is sorcery. This is witchcraft, and Daniel so and so, I can't remember his surname, the actor in the Get Out movie, was under that spell, which Daniel represents the black people today, the so-called niggers today. He represents a lot of you who are still in that movie, still under that sorcery, Get Out, and you have your brains removed. Your brains are in the hands of the so-called white man. He's took your brains. He owns your brains. Because he didn't have no. They wanted to take Get Out movie. They wanted to take his brains, Daniel, and they got a lot of other people's brains, which those people they represent. The ones that no longer have their brains today would be, you might call them coconuts, sellouts, or the coons today. They're the ones that don't. Their brains are owned by the white man. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. They search out iniquities, man. Their heart is deep. They study you. And little did they know, they're being studied now. Yeah, the hunter will soon be the hunted. Yeah, and that's gonna be all the precepts where 10 shall taste 1,000. That could be another video. I think there's one in Deuteronomy 39, or it might be 32, where 10 shall taste 100, and 100 shall taste 1,000. I think it's in Leviticus as well, and in Ezekiel as well. No, it's in Ezekiel. 10 shall taste 1,000. 10 shall chase 100, 100 shall chase 1,000. All those spiritual power precepts come to mind. We're gonna be hunting you. You used to hunt us, right, for spoil, and you're still doing it now. The ignorant of our people, exploiting them. They're under that spell. The movie, The Wizard of Oz, with the lion who wanted to have courage. He needed courage. He didn't have no courage. The straw man, he wanted the brains, and the tin man, he wanted a heart. But the lion was the most cowardice out of all of them. When he saw the little decrepit old man behind the curtain, the big screen, and when Toto, the little dog, moved the curtain from the big screen, they realized it was just a little decrepit old man, the straw man behind the curtain. And the little girl, what was that little girl's name? It might come back to me, but you get the point. The courage, the man, the lion, which represent Jakes, the so-called black people day. The lions, they're supposed to be the most courageous. Was it Delores? I think it's something to that effect. The little girl's name, Delores or something. Yeah, the lion was supposed to be the most courageous, but he was the most cowardice out of all of them. When he saw the image of that little decrepit old man on the screen. He turned around and he ran for his life, ran down the corridor and just tried to hide, man. He was screaming. That was the most funniest, for me, that was the most funniest. That the lion, supposed to be the most courageous of all of them, like today, the Judites, the so-called black people, they're supposed to be the most courageous, are right now, under that sorcery spell, the most cowardice, being exploited and used. So, Dorothy, that's the name of the little girl. She was teaching them all to get courage. The little Edomite gal, she had more courage than all three of them put together. Lead them down the yellow brick road to get their what they needed. They thought they needed brains. They thought they needed the heart. They thought they needed courage, which was all the things they thought they needed was the moral of the story. Everything you think you need, you already have it. The moral of the story of the movie The Wizard of Oz. You think you're stupid and you're not so stupid, Jake. When you put your mind to something, you think you need courage, but you're full of courage. You just need that. When the Most High, you just need to call upon His name. When He wakes you up, Yahweh Shai, when He wakes you up out of your slumber and takes a sorcery spell off you, you're going to get back into your spirit, which is a lion, a sleeping lion, which shall be an awakened lion. And there is no enchantment against a lion that is awake, in tune with his own God. There is no enchantment against Jacob. Numbers chapter 23 and 23. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. Right? That's when the spell is going to be lifted off. And it's already being lifted off of a few of us, a couple of the elect. Or who knows how many, but a good amount of elect. The sorcery has been lifted off, and it's been continuing to be lifted off and awakened via the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Like I said, I was in the Christian church and I was awake in there, and I became what they may call a rebel in the Christian church, and I was exposing a lot of them, talking to the elders, putting scriptures to them, until I realized I was in a losing battle if I stay in that circle, because they try and gaslight you. But a lot of them did get bore up with scriptures anyway. A lot of them, I bore them up with scriptures through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shemashah. One of them I hear now, one of the elders I hear now, he's dying of cancer. The spirit is working, man. One of the elders now is dying of cancer. All kinds of things happening. They're getting exposed. He ran away to one of them was in control of the accountants, and he done a runner with the money. One of the accountants done a runner with the money, and now he's on holiday somewhere. Nobody knows, but he's dying of cancer. So that's the curse is going upon them. All the wicked. Everybody's Galatians chapter 6 and 7. Whatsoever a man soweth, that he should also reap. You can't get away being wicked. So the Most High is making their own tongue to fall upon them. So all that see them shall flee away. And I woke up out of the Christian church, and I ran to the hills, to the truth, to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, calling upon His name. And the Most High does use the fools, so-called foolish people of the world, to put the wise ones to shame. Hence why I was in that Christian church when I awoke. I was protected through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And anything that they came against me with, the Most High overthrew it, man. Right? And all men that shall fear and shall declare the word of God, for they shall wisely consider of His doings. Yeah, started to consider of Yahweh Hashem Yeshua's doings, coming to this truth and calling upon the true name of the Most High. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in Him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. So yeah, man, I just wanted to bring those things out. Another scripture that I wanted to go into and get into some of the words, like certain words like seductive. I just tapped it in. When I tapped in seductive, got a couple of nice precepts that come up in the blue layer, and I said I was gonna go into this with the videos I've done previously on deflecting, the probable deniability, which one of their one of their main things they like to do as their professional liars. As a matter of fact, let's do something here now, right now, because hashtag Asher TikTok, on TikTok he mentioned the word gaslighting. Gaslighting. What is gaslighting?
According to Wikipedia, gaslighting is the subjective experience of having one's reality repeatedly questioned by another.
Yeah, that's that. Here you have it, man. We're gonna check it out. You just looked up the word, or went to the voice of Google. I'm gonna start doing that more too, because that's handy. I saw somebody else doing that, and I said, yeah, that's makes it easier. So, what is gaslighting? Say that again. What is gaslighting again?
According to Forbes, it's making someone seem or feel unstable, irrational and not credible, making them feel like what they're seeing or experiencing isn't real, that they're making it up, that no one else will believe them. Gaslighting involves an imbalance of power between the abuser and the person they're gaslighting.
See that? Yeah, that was excellent. It's making someone seem or feel unstable, irrational, and not credible. Let's see if I can back off a bit. Back out a bit so I can get it. Yeah. Not credible, making them feel like what they are seeing or experiencing isn't real, that they are making it up, that no one else will believe them. Gaslighting involves an imbalance of power between the abuser and the person they are gaslighting. So this is what people who in authority, they do that. They gaslight you. Or just damn right bug-outs do that. And we had a couple of bug-outs in our camp, and they thought they could pull the wool over, some brothers' eyes. Certainly didn't work with me. I just abided my time, and I started to realise he's definitely a bug-out. And you get bug-outs coming in this truth. As one of the elders and apostles say, you get the best and the worst in Israel. I just looked at that. Now I want to go back to the blue letter. Hence I said I was going to look up something. The righteous 12, Proverbs chapters 12 and 26. Zoom in again so that you can see a bit better, because this phone, it's not the best phone, but it does the job. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. See? The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. Gaslighting. The way of the wicked seduceth them. That's true. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. Wow, how does he do it? What did he say? Gaslighting. On TikTok, the guy he just mentioned it. Professional liars. Because you got the history now over there in America and a lot of states, as he was saying. They want to say that they want to get rid of a lot of the books in the schools, the history, which is the history of our people, not theirs. All their history, they want to keep their history, their lying history, that they were the Renaissance, that they are all the kings and the royals and the princes and the prophets. They want to keep that. They want to take away our history, which we are the true royals. We are the true prophets. They're all back here, and the royals and the princes, and the princesses, and so they want to take they want to take it. What they calling it? The awake. They want to take the awake. That's what they're calling it, the awakening act, because it's making their people, their children, feel uncomfortable. And it leads right back to what we're talking about. They want to take the history out of the schools, the awoke people, and this is what it is. It's gaslighting. What is gaslighting? It's making someone seem or feel unstable, rational, taking away our history. Yeah, saying it's not credible. Saying it's not credible, rational and not credible, making them feel like what they are seeing or experiencing isn't real, that were making it up, Right, you want me to say we're making up history, man? That you wrote, you documented it. Now it doesn't suit you. You don't like it. You want to take it out now. That no one else will believe them. Believe them. Trying to what they call that, character assassination. And like I say, you had a couple of people in our camp trying to do that with me, trying to assassinate my character, but it backfired on you because you can't fool the Spirit of the Lord. Can't lie to the Spirit of the Lord. Yeah? Gaslighting involves an imbalance of power between the abuser and the person they are gaslighting. Because people come into this truth, and they think that it's a power trip. They like the idea that they have a certain amount of power. And if you're wicked and you ain't right and you have power, of course you're gonna abuse that power. You're gonna think that other people are stupid. Yeah, you're gonna have and I called that person. I had a name for him. Megalomaniacs. There's a name for people like that. Megalomaniacs, power hungry people, and they use something that is good and righteous and pure in their favor as a way in means to bully people. They have a platform when they use it to bully people. A bully pulpit instead of a pulpit to help and to edify and uplift people like Yahushua did, not to bully people like they was doing in the Christian church, using their platform to bully people and belittle people and gaslight people. The Most High gonna deal with them people like that. And if there's any people in this truth doing that, which we know there's a couple, and they're being exposed. People that are just saying right, most are going to expose them, and we leave that all to the Spirit of the Lord anyway. Just like as the elders say, just stay, let everything play out, and we know the story plays out according to the Most High's movie, because it's not our movie, it's His movie. Like what happened with Judas and all the wicked men them in Numbers. Korah, Dathan and Abiram, the wicked rebellious men that led about 250 men, and they was all swallowed up. Mighty men of fame, mighty men, rebellious men, and they was all swallowed up under a sinkhole in the end anyway. The movie plays out, it always plays out. So they were megalomaniacs, megalomaniacs, and they try to use that tool, gaslighting. Let's some more. What is gaslighting? Let's read a bit more on gaslighting. That they may say things such as, "Are you sure about that?" And I had a lot of gaslighting in the Christian church, man. A lot of it. Are you sure about that? Because people used to talk to me, and I was a man of, I was a man. I didn't like injustice, man, and I used to talk to people. I used to, try and clear things up. But this is what they say: "Are you sure about that? You have a bad memory." Or I think that you're forgetting what really happened. See? That's what they do. Withholding this involves someone pretending they do not understand the conversation or refusing to listen to make a person doubt themselves. And all people that was doing that in the Christian church, a lot of them are suffering now. Because if potentially, if I'm one of the elect, Scripture says that not to stumble one of the elect. That's in Matthew chapters 18 and 6. It's better for them to put a noose around their head and go and jump in a lake, loosely paraphrasing, than to stumble one of his little ones. So if I'm one of the little ones, one of the Most High's elect, all them that done that to me, past, present and future, it's better for them to put a noose around their neck and jump into the lake than to stumble one of these little ones. Matthew chapters 18 and verse 6. And a lot of people, the elders in the Christian church, we know anyway the outcome of Babylon the Great. We know their outcome anyway, the Jehovah's Witnesses, and a lot of them being exposed anyway for all the paedophilia that takes place. If you just go on Google and tap on paedophilia that taking place in Jehovah's Witness organization, they're becoming bankrupt. They're paying off millions and millions of paper money to the families and parents of the children, because That's them being exposed. Psalm 64 and 8. Tongues are falling upon themselves, man. And they are professional liars. I'm speaking from experience. I know I was in there for 20 plus years. So gaslighting example in relationships, that never happened. This is some of the things that they say. That never happened. You are crazy, and other people think so too. Trying to, use their influence. Their influence to what's the word? Character assassinate you. And I've been through a lot of that in the Christian church, in the Jehovah's Witness. I'm sorry you think that I hurt you. Do you really think I'd make that up? You are just trying to confuse me. I know you'd never intentionally hurt you. You know I'd never intentionally hurt you. I did that because I the Christian church. I've experienced a lot of that stupidity, man. One more, and then we get back to the precepts. The term gaslighting actually comes from a 1938 play, Gaslight, which was turned onto a more widely known movie in 1944. I just tapped in gaslighting etymology. Gaslighting, where a husband manipulates his wife, or he has it here as the man manipulating his woman, but we're in a matriarchy society. So I'm going to say this, more often than not, it's the other way around. Don't matter what they want to, how they want to cut it and slice it, like it's the man. A lot of you women are bullies too. You use emotional bullying, and also in the Christian church, I saw a lot of that taking place as well. You use sex as a weapon. You marry the man. You act all nice and sweet for him to put the ring on your finger. You marry him, and then when it suits you, after you've had all the sex you give him, you start not giving him. You start withholding the due, and the scripture says you're not supposed to do that in 1 Corinthians 7. Apostle Paul said you're supposed to render the due to your husband. A lot of you use that sex as a weapon and don't give him nothing, so he has to go and commit adultery, and then you get a divorce. And a lot of you do that. You use that game, you play that game. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You use that game, using sex as a weapon, manipulating the man. And you get men that do that too, but a lot of women that do that, they go underneath the radar when they do it. And a man get frustrated and you want him to put your hands on you. Yes, that's what you do. And you do all kinds of things to try and make him put your hands on you. And once he's done that, you got an excuse to divorce him. And you got half of his money. And that happens in the Christian church, that happens all over the world. That happens in Hollywood, and we hear a lot of the stories in Hollywood that the men are dogs and all that. Women just as wicked too. And I'm talking about Edomite woman, nigger woman, and all the tribes and all the women. All of them have the power to do that. All of you have the power to do that in this world. This is Satan's world. The whole world lying in the power of the wicked one. And I've seen all races take part of that. And that's what I'm just talking about, what I've seen with my own eyes. Some people even in my own family. Most people in my family are with Edomite women, or was with Edomite women. So that's what I've seen. Where a husband manipulates his wife, so make her think she actually losing her senses. I'm going to say she's doing it to him, or she's initiating it for a lot of the time. And then he starts to react to it. Because he's the man and it's hard to convince. It's easier for the woman to act like the victim in this society. When she goes to court, she just plays the victim. Oh, he was abusing me and he tried to intimidate me. And he was, all kinds of lies they make up, man. So he can commit her to mental situations and steal her inheritance. Wicked. A woman wrote this. Yep. To make her, I'm going to read it the other way around. To make him think she actually losing her senses, think he's actually losing his senses of reality, so he can commit her to mental institutions. This is what happens. So she can commit him to mental institutions and steal his inheritance. Let's say it right. Fucking lying women, you. A woman wrote this one. Stop the lying, man. Most of you women, you use that sex as a weapon to get what you want, or to dash away something that you're fed up of, and you divorce the man, or you get him to divorce you. And all you wicked Edomite woman and the nigger woman, but a lot of you Edomite woman, you go under the radar because you're more subtle with it. The nigger woman's just coming straight and loud, and she got a big mouth. She's not subtle. She's just a fire-breathing dragon. So it's easy to see what they're doing. Let's get back to the scriptures. Proverbs chapters 12 and 26 says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. Let's go on this one. See, the way of the wicked seduce the righteous, man. Let's get into I said I wanted to get into this. Spirit's on me to get into it now a little bit more. So, more excellent. More excellent. So, to seek out, select, find out how to do something. To spy out. Right? Because that's what you do to someone that is excellent. You want to seek them out, exploit them. Jake's being exploited, man. The movie Get Out speaks volumes. And Daniel, he eventually got out. Someone had to come. His friend came to the rescue. If his friend never come to the rescue and bore up the woman with like strainer, he had to bore her up, because he literally succumbed to a seductive womanly charm once again. Even when she was literally dying, she literally succumbed to it and had pity at the wrong time. Mercy at the wrong time is imbalance, and it's the unbalance is an abomination to the Lord. And his friend had to come to the rescue and finish it off. If you ain't seen the movie, go and watch the movie. Go and watch my favourite part at the end, where his friend had to come and deliver him out of the Edomite woman's feminine charms, or her subtle grasp, her tentacles that lady got on around him again. Go watch the movie again, man. If you haven't seen it. If you've seen it a long time ago, watch it again. In matter of fact, I might have to go and watch it again as well. Because we're living in a matriarchy society where Satan is in control of everything. And they use gaslighting. And they use brainwash too. You know? So we need these reminders. Hence we're doing this video right now. Right? So seek out, select, find out how to do something. Excellency, yeah, especially for trade or there you go. Be excellent merchant trader, participle, to make search, make reconnaissance, go about, explore, spy. So because you're excellent, Jake, righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, right? This is what they do. You're more excellent. They search you out to exploit you, to use their to search. They search you out, exploit you, spy you out, right? How they do it? They use this thing here. Oh, did I say the word? Let's say it. Let's hear it out. What it sounds like.
Strong's H 8446. Tour. No,
I don't know if I can pronounce that one, but seduce them. So they use seduction, seduce. This is what they do, and this is in some informative information. And yes, a lot of the time I can say I've seen this happen. Seduce, to wander, to grasp, stagger, to wander about, physically, intoxication, wandering. I used to talk to some women, husbands and wives together, and sometimes separately, and they confide in me. And one husband, a lot of husbands say that they're not getting a pum pum. The woman ain't rendering them the due. Husbands were telling me things like that. And one wife who was married, and I remember when she was single, told me she's fed up of her husband. She told me things I'm not supposed to be hearing. I'm hearing these things, man. And like I say, it's not our movie, it's the Most High's movie. And she used to do things to try and antagonize him, frustrate him, to make him angry. And then she's coming and telling me. She's telling me. She's trying to get a divorce, man, and so that she can go and do something with other men. And obviously he's gonna, if he's not getting the due, he's gonna want to go and commit adultery. And she's leading him to doing that. And I'm talking from what I've lived in. I've seen it, been there, and I've heard it, and I haven't done it though, but I have seen it. Abba Ratazar wasn't into doing that wickedness. Most are protecting me from these wicked women, because a wicked woman is given to a portion of a wicked man. The Most I never had none of them. Good. Most are protecting me from getting married, and I had invitations, a lot of invitations. We're having people around for dinner now, and all it did was make me realize what kind of wicked people, how wicked people were. That's what it made me realize. Calls to wonder. So we're on the subject now of seducing or deceiving. What's the word here? Seducing. To wander, to go astray, stagger, wander about, and seduce. They try a lot of that. A lot of you women, you try and seduce men, married or not. You say out of your own mouth, to get a married man is there's a lot of what do you call it? It's more exciting when you have sex with a married man, under the down low. A lot of you do that because you're wicked. That's why. Yeah, seduce married men. You get a kick out of doing that. Or what they call it, marriage destroy, something to that effect. Destroying marriages, something you get a kick out of doing that. Deceive, dissemble, cause to make air. Seduce, make to stagger, cause to wander, be out of the way. Seduce. So the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him. I want to get a little bit more somewhere else. I just tapped it in. The results of seduce. That was seduced. Now I want to get the singular word seduce. So Mark chapter 13 and 22. Seduce. Prophets. Did I read it? Let me read it first, just so I can get. It says, the false Christ and false prophets shall rise and shall show signs and wonders to seduce, if it were possible, even the elect. Now we can go in. Seduce. The singular word seduce now. Can I pronounce that? Let me see.
Strong's G 635. Apoplanao. Apoplanao.
Right there. That's how you say that, and here's the word there. And I don't think I can pronounce it. Apoplanao. I tried. So to cause to go astray, to lead away from the truth, to err, to go astray, to go astray, stray away from. Seduce. That's a singular word there, and we just heard the pronunciation. So this is what the E's them do collectively, other people. And what he said was in the TikTok hashtag Asha said 90% of you white people, you do that professional lying or gaslight. But I'll say I'll correct it. I'll say 99%, 99. I'll even say 100% of Edomites. I'm not talking about no Israelite foreigners, because there's Israelite that look like them, and I believe he could be one. An Israelite that just doesn't know he's an Israelite. I believe that he could be one of them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he said he was. I think he said where he was, but where he said it escapes me right now. He did say, where did he say? It's one of the northern places. It might come back to me, but I remember. If it comes back to me, it comes back to me. If it don't, it don't. But yeah, seduce. These things have I written unto you concerning them that seduce you. Revelations 2 and 20. Notwithstanding, I have few things against thee, because thou suffered that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants, right? To lead astray, seduce, to make them go astray, to commit fornication, to eat things sacrificed to idols. Yeah, Manasseh. I think he said he might be one of them. Manasseh. It might be Manasseh, that guy. Might come back to me where he's from. But hashtag Asha, you don't want to hear it from me. Hear it from one of your own people, potentially one of your own people. You don't want to hear it from me. See? And you might not want to hear it from me, but it's okay. You can hear it from your own people there. The Most High's movie, he's in control of everything. We got an example of gaslighting here in Genesis chapter 3. We read from the top. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made, and said unto the woman, God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, ye may eat of the tree of the fruit, the trees of the garden. Ye may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Right? So, what is that? What do you call that? Let's go back and look at it. What do you call that word there? You looked at it. What the serpent said to the woman, ye shall not surely die. It's making someone seem or feel unstable, irrational, and not credible, making them feel like what they are seeing or what they heard or experiencing isn't real, that they are making it up. See? I don't need to say no more. That no one else will believe them. Gaslighting involves an imbalance of power between the abuser and the person they are gaslighting. And don't just look at that woman there and feel sorry for her. A lot of men getting gaslighted as well by their woman. Don't get it twisted. So that was we looked at the example there, and we gave the example in the Google, but that's the example in the book in Genesis chapters 3 and 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Gaslighting. For God knoweth that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And that was part of the movie anyway. That was going to play out. That was prophecy. That was going to play out. But Eve was gaslighted. Eve, the black woman, the nigger woman back then, was gaslighted by the Edomite woman back then. And the same happens today. Via the media, via the now we've got the massive media, the social media, which is it's like Eve throwing the kitchen sink at them now, and they're gullible. They've been seduced. They've gone astray via the media, all the social medias. And there's too many to mention. TikTok, what's that? Tweety. One of the brothers call it Tweety. Shout out to that brother. Tweety. What's the other one? There's too many, I can't remember them. I don't even like fucking social media, man. And all the other ones, man. You know the ones, man. There's too much to mention. It used to be blogging. I remember it used to be blogging. Now you got all these other shit coming up. And I just use, and you know that we use them to not making full use of them, but we use them to push out this truth, what we do. And it's a vessel until the Most High says, that's it, time's up, we don't need it no more. That's the famine of the word, and we're looking forward to the famine of the word, so we don't have to deal with all this bullshit, man. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eye, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband, and with her, and he did eat. So she seduced her husband, man. Like I say, a lot of men get seduced too by the woman. That's one of that's the man's weakness. That's why we men, you gotta get your balls back. Like I said in my other video, get your damn balls back. Giving the ball to the woman. What happened to you, man? When the woman says to you, you got to come in when I'm speaking to you. You got to come inside now. So just say, look back and say, what are you talking about, man? You shut him up, go inside when I come inside when I'm ready. Because we're supposed to be able to be we're supposed to be the head of the households. You can say, you don't have to say it the way I just said it. I'm just saying it, in this video. You say, oh, I'm doing something at the moment, come in when I'm finished. Instead of, oh, I gotta go now. My wife said my woman said she wants me to come inside. All that kind of fuckery. I used to get fed up with all that. I used to go out on the ministry and speak to people about this word. At that time it was Jehovah's Witness, speaking to them what I believe was the truth. And a lot of men were whipped. Oh, my wife's calling me. She wants me to come back. So I've seen a lot of that. And like I say, all women doing it. All women doing it. Telling their husbands to come inside. This feminist spirit, this matriarchy spirit. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. So that's the point I wanted to just hit that. Gaslighting. And there's some examples we just looked at. These are some examples we just looked at. Psalm 64, their tongue is falling upon themselves. But you know what? I'm going to bring this one out and end with this. Because a brother was mentioning this and he said, what? For sake of understanding a certain word, look it up. 1 Corinthians chapters 2 and 13 says, which things also we speak, not in the word which man teacheth, but which the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit. So the elect are going to get this, what I'm saying. The carnal man ain't going to receive what I'm saying. He's going to be under his woman. He's going to be seduced. He's going to keep getting seduced and gaslighted. And he ain't going to wake up. He's going to be like the lion in the Wizard of Oz. Running everywhere, keep hiding, running. Can't get his manhood back. He can't get his balls back from his woman. A lion, a sleeping lion. He ain't going to wake up. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness, because they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. Yeah, spiritual man is judgeth all things. Yeah, so I want to look up the word spiritual. Because to get this truth, you have to be, first and foremost, you have to be a spiritual man to discern. We looked at the word gaslighting, the Gunning-Kruger effect, to discern those things. The plausible deniability, you got to be discerning. And the most I got to put that spirit of discernment on you. And the deflecting, the most I got to put that spirit on you to understand the things that he is using, because he's very subtle. He's man and he's woman. Yeah, you have to be spiritual to see through the bullshit. I might even title this video something along the lines. See through the bullshit. I might entitle it that. See through the bullshit. Spiritual man can see through the bullshit. Relating to the human spirit or rational soul as part of the man, which is a keen in God and serves as his instrument or organ. That which possesses the nature of rational soul, belonging to a spirit or a being higher than man, but inferior to God, belonging to the divine spirit of God, the Holy Spirit, one who is filled with governed by the Spirit of God, pertaining to the word, to the wind, breath, windy, exposed to the wind, blowing. Strong definitions. Spirit concretely, or even supernatural, regenerates, religious, spiritual, compare. So in a nutshell, belonging to a spirit of being higher than man but inferior to God, belonging to the divine spirits of the Holy Spirit, one who is filled and governed by the Spirit of God, one who is filled and governed by the Spirit of God. Now, one more word, because you have to have this word in order for you to see through the bullshit. You have to have that word in order for you to see through the bullshit. Right, there you go. Let's go back. That's the one. Spiritually discerned. You have to have this word in order for you to see through the bullshit. And we'll end with this one. Abaratazar. We grow in this word here. Let me hear see what it looks like first. Hear it.
Strong's G 350. Anacrino. Anacrino.
Alright, anacrino. So to investigate, examine, inquire, and to scrutinize, sift, question. I've got to take a breath on that one and meditate, let that one settle. See, you have to have discernment in order for you to scrutinize, investigate, to see through the bullshit. If I entitle it that video, don't be surprised. If I entitle my video having discernment to see through the bullshit, don't be surprised. But I probably won't entitle it that, but something along them lines, especially in a forensic sense of a judge to hold an investigation, because that's what we are. Someone who's discerning, he investigates, he looks unto all things, because the spiritual man, he looked unto all things, and he understands the spirit, but he himself is not judged by any man. To interrogate, examine the accused or witness, to judge of, estimate, determine the excellence or defects of any person or thing. So they think that they're examining us, which they are, exploiting us, the ease, exploiting us. They seduce us, but you know what? Coming to the time now where, like I say, the hunted shall become the hunter. Yeah, that's right. I said it. The hunted, we were the hunted. Deuteronomy 28 talks about all the strategies that he used, and they think they're still using. But Deuteronomy 30:7 says, all that they did upon us shall fall upon them. The curses shall fall upon them. So the hunted, we were the hunted, shall become the hunter. To judge, to estimate, to determine the excellency or defects of any person or thing. We're examining them now. We're sussing you out. Let me just say it like that. We're sussing you motherfuckers out with the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. To judge or estimate, determine the excellency or defect of any person or thing. Sussing your asses out. Subtle devils, you think you could hide from us? Most High giving us that discernment to judge. You can't fool the elect. Yeah, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. Giving our praises to Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. So we looked at these words, man, and we heard it from the white man, the so-called white man's mouth himself. Yeah, hashtag Asha from TikTok. You use your professional liars and you use that word that you love to use, gaslighting. And that just goes back to the word lying. Yeah, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth him. But discernment, the man who is awoke with discernment, yes, their tongue is fallen upon themselves, Psalms 64:8. But the man who is awake with discernment, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit, but God, for they are things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But the man with the spiritual discernment sees all through the bullshit, the gaslighting, the Gunning-Kruger effect, the deflecting, and the plausible deniability. You can't fool with. We see through the bullshit. Till the next one, I want to give our praises to Yahweh Hashem Yoshai for putting the spirit on me to do this video. Yes, the house of David is rising, and everything the wicked have done to us, past, present, and future, is now falling upon their own head. So the righteous, because they are spiritually discerned to see the bullshit, we see through the bullshit. To the next one.